Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Gabe or Apollo here. I'm here to go over the power of the short squeeze with our AI engine. Like we've been tuning in for the last several weeks. We've gotten a number of scans and a number of hits on these short squeezes that I'm pretty sure not a lot of you heard about. But first, let's hop into chat real quick and see where everybody's from. Give me a shout out from where you're from, everyone. I saw Las Vegas earlier. Chicagoland, okay. Cog Hill. That's right, Drew. Always money made. Houston, Texas. And what's something else I want to see here? What is everyone's favorite stock? What's your favorite stock? Whether it's to hold, buy covered calls on, buy unsecured puts on. What's your favorite stock to trade? I know mine is. Okay, the SPY. I only have one person in there who wants to tell me what they like. All right. Well, if no one else is going to talk, I guess I'll get right into it. So I'm here tonight to go over our AI engine here at Option Pit. So a little background about me. I've been in the fintech and finpub industry for well over 15 years. I've been trading for about 20 years. I'm a father of 3 just outside of Baltimore. So I will be visiting, if anyone's in Florida, I'll be visiting Florida quite a bit next year, as that's where my son just committed to play some lacrosse. So I'll be down there quite a bit this coming summer and in the future. So what we're here to go over tonight is our AI engine, and we're going to go over short squeezes that you probably didn't see. So everyone knows the AMCs, the GameStops of the world, and most recently Beyond Meat, which our scanner did grab. But this is custom built, like it's saying right in front of you. It scans for stocks that are under $20 that have options that we want to play on, but it also scans these stocks that we would like to own and play short squeeze off of the stock as well. So again, this is the AI engine with me, Gabe or Apollo. So one thing I really want to address here, what if we were able to tell you that there's a short squeeze every day that can happen at any minute? And just recently, yesterday and today, our AI engine was able to capture, I believe it was 7 trades today. We have a number that were put onto the wait list. We enacted, I think, 3 today. So we had a very large number of hits today. And with Mark constantly changing the AI engine itself, we're able to constantly evolve and make sure that we're having the best product on the market for our clientele so that you guys are able to have success just like I am day in and day out. So here's a quick update on some of our trades that we've gone and taken advantage of in the past several days. So we have PAC B. The option trade went from 20 cents to 40 cents in 8 days for 175%. SLS, 15 to 22, 7 days, 46%. LUNR, 85 cents to 135, so 58%. We had Run. Run had a nice run, pun intended, and we were able to take advantage of that trade in 2 days, making 30.4%. I was able to actually get out today for a 89.2% gain on it when it hit $1.60. So it was a pretty crazy day. And then we've had LAES has been popping on the scanner left and right. We've been in this trade multiple times from multiple different scans, not from one trade, multiple scans. Look at right below, 50 cents on the option trade, went up in 2 days to 120%. And then if you held it even longer, when we got back into it 6 days later, 228%. And then here's some of the new ones that I've updated onto here so you can see what we've been able to take advantage of in the last several days. LAES, again, no shocker there, a little over 100%. WVE was our big winner 2 weeks ago and a little bit last week, I believe, as we were able to knock it out for 158% return. ARC, AREC, we hit that one twice. We were able to play the stock side, $2 to 405 for 102%, or excuse me, the stock side from 85 cents to 135 in 41 days for 58%. But the big winner on that stock was 2 to 405. And that was a stock trade, not just an options trade. LAC, we held for 43 days and waited for that pop where we got 228.9%. So a little bit about the gentleman who has created this AI engine and has been able to find these short squeezes day in and day out. Mark Sebastian. Not sure how much of you are familiar with him. Give me a thumbs up if you're familiar with Mark. Thumbs up in the chat if you're familiar with Mark. Come on. All right, Michael. Okay, we have some. Perfect. So Mark has been on the CBOE for well over 25 or 20 years. He has developed this trading strategy that he's been trading with, and a lot of you know him from the Zero DTE, Delta Strike, and a number of other types of products that we have here at Option Pit. But Mark has spent thousands upon thousands of dollars building this AI scanner that, I'll be completely honest, there are AI scanners out there, or people that say AI scanners, and it's just giving you a stock that may have a volume pop, a stock that may just detect that there are a number of reasons why it's going to go up, whether it's scanning Reddit, etc. But this is doing a multitude of different research every day that's scanning and popping these stocks for us. That's why we've been able to get at least 7 ideas, 2 trades in the last day, a trade yesterday. I believe this week we're at 4 total trades we were able to put on. So I want to go over this. So this was actually not last week. Some of us are still in this trade, I believe, but we were able to capture Ranny. We bought the 250 calls on Ranny. And this went up. We bought them on the 27th. We finally got out of them I got out of them on, I believe it was the 5th. And we were able to watch this skyrocket from on 10.7. If you see where it's trading at, the scan came across to buy the 250 calls. It was trading at $1.80, and we were able to take advantage of it to get into the trade. And then last week we had RUN, R-U-N. This came across the scan. We were in this trade for only a couple of minutes, and we were able to get out for a 70% return here in a matter of minutes on RUN. So those are just a couple I want to go over. I'm going to go into detail and show you guys the engine and where we're able to actually capture these winning trades. I'll show you my track record with the trades as well to show how I've been able to implement it on my own and follow with Mark's recommendations. Pretty much the way that this is going to go down, this is anticipating all short squeezes in the market. We actually have triple confirmation, and we just updated to give us a 4th confirmation. So for some of you who have been with us following along, I'm going to be able to go over our Tripwire 1, Tripwire 2, Tripwire 3, and Tripwire 4. And it's going to go over how we're able to implement and capture all these winning trades. It automatically sends you out these alerts, so you do not need to be sitting at your computer all day. However, you can sit at your computer while working. You can actually turn on the audio that you'll get a little ding and you'll know what to look at and you'll be able to implement the trade, or you can just wait for the email confirmation from Mark. Or if you have the chat open, you have the ability to look at the chat and see what's going on there and what trade we're going to be implementing. So as we can see, here's Beyond Meat, 1014. This was a short squeeze that everybody should have heard of. And if you haven't heard of it, shame on you. So if we look here in the Tripwire here, we can see Beyond Meat came across a scanner. We hit Tripwire 1, Tripwire 2, and Tripwire 3. This was before we put on our 4th Tripwire. So I just wanted to show you this because I'm sure a lot of you had heard about the Beyond Meat trade, but weren't able to take advantage of it. So I kind of wanted to show this is what the scanner told us to buy on 1014 by the October 24th $1.50 calls. Last week, it also caught Pack B, and it went on our 1023. We bought the November 21st $3 calls, and we just got out of that for 100% return. I'm pretty sure there's some members in the chat that are still holding on to this trade. and they're trying to wait out to the 21st. It's still, I believe, sitting at about $2.50 a share. So this could be a trade you could still put on if you really wanted to. But back to Beyond Meat. This is what everybody's here to see. On the 14th, we got those $1.50 calls for 7 cents. Now, we're not actually spending 7 cents on the call. So I just want to reiterate, for a call option, that's actually $7. So you have to multiply that and you'll get $7. It's for every one option contract you get is 100 shares it controls. So 7 times 100, $7. So on the 14th, we were able to notify our members, and you were able to get in as low as 7 cents a contract. Some members got in at 10 cents a contract. This was before I really delved into learning the trade. So I missed this one. I saw a number of members get in and make 300, 400%. As we can see, on the 14th, we were notified 7 cents a trade. By the 21st, we were up to $3 a contract. So $7 for this contract down here on October 4th, all the way up to 3, which is 3 times 100, $300. So we were able to make a return of over 1,000% on this trade. Now, I don't know about you. I don't know if you noticed this trade. I don't know if you're able to get in on this trade. You could have ridden the stock and you could have made a decent trade as well and probably made a couple 100%. However, we were able to mitigate our risk, get a $7 call option, and ride it to $300 a contract. See, look at that, 4,186%. $100 into that trade, which I will go over on equal dollar amount trading investments. But $100 into that trade, which is not that much, would have netted you $4,148. So I don't know too many trades that are going out there, too many hedge fund managers, money managers out there that are able to, in a matter of days, get you a $4,100 plus percent return. LAS, here's our trade for LAS. We got into it at 20 cents, and we were able to pop out at 55 cents on the contract that we were able to buy for 175%. AI Engine snagged HNST, Honey Trading Company, just last week. As you can see here on 11/7, the 11/21 $250 calls were trading at 19 cents, which is $19. Yes, David, that's correct. If we get 100%, we want to sell, and I will go over on how we leg ourselves out. So if we were able to get in at the $19 a contract, today it was all the way up to $65 a contract. And I was actually able to get out at another 100% gain today. I have one contract hanging out, and I believe it's up 48% currently. But I have some time with it ending on 11/21. The system hit it again. So I think that we might get another squeeze here, another pop to above $3 a contract. So what really is a short squeeze? What made these stocks really spike? Everyone thinks that a short squeeze is just us little guys trying to get back at these hedge fund managers. But it's a little bit more to it than that. These short squeezes are happening daily. They're happening every week. We're able to execute and get in and out of these trades. So I just want to leave this on the screen for a little bit so that you guys can actually write it down to understand what a short squeeze really is. It is when it can be institutional traders that are betting on the stock to go down. It can also be a recreational trader like myself that's thinking the stock's going to go down and I'm going to short it and buy some puts. The market's overweighted on one side, and the same traders are forced to buy those stocks if they're shorting. So if the short goes against them, they have to buy that stock at that price. So this is a way that we're constantly seeing those squeezes happen. And that's what this AI engine is really able to show you. It's able to show you where these squeezes are happening and to make sure it's not an artificial squeeze. And when I say an artificial squeeze, what I'm reiterating, what I really want you guys to understand is that these squeezes happened way too often. And we have a number of artificial squeezes that happen because there might be good news on a drug that's come out. There may be some good earnings reports that are come out. Those are going to be artificial squeezes. That's not really what we're looking for. So I'm going to walk through all 4 tripwires in the system using the AI scanner. it's going to locate these short squeezes. Our AI engine will have tripwire 1, 2, 3, and 4, and I'm going to walk you through every single one, explaining to you the power of these shorts. So tripwire 1, this is the put demand on this stock. It's going to tell us that if the put demand is higher than 7%, that it has hit tripwire 1, and we have a mechanical short squeeze that is getting ready to start. As you can see here on our scanner, it says tripwire 1. And then we can see here all these ones that are above 7%. Now, I did sort them to show you all the ones above 7%, but they've hit tripwire 1. So we're able to take advantage of those trades, possibly if they hit the other 3 tripwires. So right there, we got 17 ideas right off the bat that we could look at. Tripwire 2. Once the scales flip over the other side and we notice that there's a lot more people buying puts and shorting the stock than buying calls and buying the stock, it will start to affect the stock price. And this is very important to understand. With tripwire 2, the green arrow is showing that the stock is moving in a different direction than it historically should. Good job, Jerry. Awesome trade, man. Awesome trade. 192% in 3 days. Great. Love to hear it. Sorry. Let me get back on to topic here. So the green arrow is indicating that the stock is starting to move against the normal grain. So if there is a number of shorts against it, ideally it's going to point a red arrow, so it would go down against this historical average of what it should be doing. But for whatever reason, probably because the put demand's up and the short demand is up, it's giving a green arrow because it's moving against the grain. It's going in an opposite direction that it should be. We want the green arrow. So tripwire 1, 7% or above. For put demand, tripwire 2, we want to have the green arrow. Oh. Let me go back. Sorry about that, guys. There we go. Tripwire 3 is the measurement of the volume of the stock. Now, this was one that we just put in because we were getting a number of artificial short squeezes, a number of trades and ideas to take, and it was very, very tough to cipher through all to figure out what we actually wanted to take advantage of. So Mark put in tripwire 3, which measures the volume of the stock. We want to see the volume of the stock going in an upward trajectory. So if the stock's average daily volume is 1 million, we want to see that trading above or below it. In the chat, what do we want to see it trading at? If the average is 1 million, do we want to see it above it or below it? Yes, Sam, that's correct. We want to see it trading above it. We want to see more shares being acquired to drive up that volume. And this can be indicated one of two things. This is scanning it for us. So instead of me going and looking at the stock itself and seeing the average daily volume is at 1.1 million, and it's currently at 600,000, and we are at 9:30 in the morning, this scan's already going to give it to me. I don't need to actually do the research to do it. It's already there. So we have tripwire 3 enacted when the volume is starting to tick in that upward trend to where we are getting a number of people getting in on the stock, whether it's institutions, retail traders, whomever getting in on the stock. So we want the volume and tripwire 3 to be green. Give me Sorry about that. Kids want to see their dad when they get home from sports, I guess. Tripwire 4. This is when we've hit tripwire 1 and 2, and we have our volume in the green direction, meaning that we have an upward trend in the amount of shares being acquired. So tripwire 4 is the frequency. We want to have a frequency of more than 3 trips. So we have to hit tripwire 1 and 2 3+ times for tripwire 4 to be enacted. So as we can see here, if we look, we have tripwire 1 hit, we have tripwire 2 hit. It's moving in the right direction, but we only had one time when tripwire 1 and 2 hit. So that would be a no-go. And then if we look down here, we can see why these ones didn't hit. We can see why TDOC, it was at 28% on the put, or 28% on the put demand. However, trip 2 was moving in the opposite direction. So a lot of people thought it was going to go down, which also the volume in the stock was down. Oh, thanks, Drew. The volume of the stock was down. And then tripwire 4 gave us multiple confirmations, but we couldn't make that trade because we had tripwire 3 going in a downward direction, as well as trip 2. So up to this point, mechanical short squeezes for under $20 stocks are actually quite common. Most people just don't trade them because we never knew that they were available. We never knew that it was there. And this is where our Alpha AI engine comes in and anticipates that squeeze. And this is why Mark is following along with it, giving you those trade recommendations. And then there's a number of other trades that you can do on your own. It recommends the best option price to buy so that you don't have to do it. And it's also going to recommend the best stock price on the stock to buy if you want to trade the stock side of it, if it is a penny stock. So the really cool thing that I like about the AI engine on the option side is it gives you that best option and also gives you the best option liquidity. And that is key, because when I first started trading this, I bought an option because I thought it was cheaper and there was no liquidity. The open interest was at 15. The Alpha AI engine recommends the best option to buy with the best liquidity. So it's going to give you these options that are under $50 a trade that have open interest of $1,500, $2,000, so that you can actually get in and get out of the trade. And as you can see here, the average price of these call options typically is going to range around $75, which a lot of members here, if you have a smaller account, this is an easy way for you to excel and take advantage in this account. So to catch these short squeezes, you have, without the AI engine, a couple different ways. You can search on Reddit under Wall Street Bets, and you can probably find a couple of them. And you'll be too late to the game because they've already been shorted. And that's where Wall Street Bets came out with the AMC trade, came out with the, who was the other one? Beyond Meat trade. And then they also had GameStop trade. But that's a lot of work to decipher and look through and figure out when it's going to squeeze and put a lot of risk in it. So we have committed a lot of money and a lot of time into developing this AI engine that is able to work for us and is able to help us take advantage of the market of these squeezes that are happening day in and day out. So here's proof. Here's a number of them. If you've been in a trade in the Alpha AI engine with Alpha AI, please drop a trade that you did with the winner in there. We had Vicky with 460% on Beyond Meat. Mattman 250, and then Chief, Jesus, 647%. And there's a number of other ones in here. So as you can see, I was able to take advantage of that. And I did not take advantage of it at that recommended price that everybody else seemed to get in on. I got in on the same day that it popped, and I was able to make a measly 8% return. However, I did over leverage myself, and the 8% turned into be a sweet $120 for the day. Vicky's out at 330, 460%. Jerry, you missed it. You missed the alert. Okay. Yeah, like I said, Jerry, I missed it as well. I was able to play it the same day. Just it all depends on your risk averseness if you want to do that same day trade. So let's go over my track record real quick. All right. I need to zoom in. I know. Tell me when to stop. We good? Perfect. So I'm currently up in the 3 and 2 weeks, or 3 weeks and 2 days trading. I'm currently up $820 on these trades. And I have a number of others that are still open that are ready to pop. So here's the trade on run. I'm only up 2%, but I still have one contract left on that. I didn't add the winning trade from today for myself. So I need to add that in there. What is that? Oh, for a nice 70% return. So that's obviously going to change this number. 15%. We had TTI that we got into on the 30th. This was a great trade. So I like to leg myself out. As you can see here, I bought 4 contracts, $22 a contract. Does that add up to just under $100 a contract? Yes, it does. I was able to get out of the first 2 contracts at 35 cents a piece to give me a 59% return. I was able to get out of the second contract for 81%, or third contract, excuse me, for 81%. And my final contract, I closed at 127%. Here's Honest Company. 19 cents a contract we were able to get in at. First 2 I sold at 47.3, sold one at 74.6, another at 84.2 today. And I know I still have 2 contracts awaiting to get relieved of their duties of making me money. But as we can see here, the proof's in the pudding. 64%. STNE, we were able to net 187%. PAC B, 69%. WVE was a monster, and this trade was crazy to begin with because we got into it on October 22nd, and I know there's a number of you that were in this chat. We were down 60% on this trade. We were down, and sure enough, the mechanical short squeeze kicked back in on, I believe it was we got into the trade on the 22nd. I believe the trade we were able to sell out before Halloween. But I was able to net 169% average with my largest winner going from $66 to making $224. And I was able to take my wife out to Applebee's. LAS, again, we were able to get in on this one. I was in late to the game on this, which is why my returns don't reflect what other people were able to make. I was able to net 16%. And then UPXI, I exited the first 2 rather quickly and made 33%. The last one expired worthless. So I was down and lost 11% on that. But at the end of the day, because I'm legging out, I was able to help myself so I didn't have a full $75 loss. DPRO was the worst trade that I've had so far. And then we have Ranny. These were the $5 calls I got in on. We're still in the 250s. I got in the $5 calls at 12 cents. And once it spiked, I was able to get out on this one for 83 and 100% return. This did give us the scan for the Ranny $5 calls. Mark gave us the scan and told us to buy the 250 calls. This was the one with the liquidity issue, as I was referring to. And then we have Beyond Meat. This was the trade I went over. I didn't make too much because I was late to the process. I did not get in. I got in on the day it spiked and got out on the day it spiked. Everybody else made a lot more than I did. Here's the 250 calls that I was telling you about for Ranny. In at 13 cents, I still have 5 contracts open, by the way. Just because of how cheap it was, I like to do equal dollar amount investments. That way I can get into everything, and that way I can execute these trades, and I'm able to be profitable every time I'm leaving the market. So I was able to get 131% return on the first 3 contracts I sold. And this one, I just let it ride until the very end, and I was like, I'm getting out for the 169% return. So as we can see, in that three weeks and 2 days time, I'm up 820. And that's putting only about, on average, I think I am averaging, don't put the Beyond Meat in there because that's a day trade that I did. But if we don't put the Beyond Meat in there, I'm probably averaging per contract a little bit above $82 a contract, or $82 in total per trade. And then more recently, the last 2 weeks, I'm up $54 or $554 because I've been buying 10 contracts. I've been buying nice round lots of 10 contracts. And here we can see when I know I can make money in a trade, I like to take a little bit off the table. So I took it off early here, sold some here, which you saw on the other side. I did sell for a little bit of a loss. And then I was able to sell 2 other contracts for 38%. I'm still up 5% on the trade with 2 contracts left to go. HNST, I was able to close at 84. Here's a number at 47.3, 74.6. ZVRA, I still have 4 open here. I'm up 38% on the trade overall. I have 4 open. It's down, I believe, right now about 20%. So this is something you could actually take advantage of and get into. STNE was a monster for me. I'm already out of all 10 contracts. I was able to get in and sell at a 30% return right off the jump. A couple of days later, 47.5%. And my last 3, I was able to get out at 187%. And so you can see right here that up $554 in 2 weeks, not too bad, with trading close to, on average, it's probably right around $300 every time I'm trading. So you really do not need a lot of money to get into these trades, which is the beautiful thing, because a lot of these contracts are going to be very, very cheap, even if you're buying more than 1 contract. So I want to go over our watch list for tomorrow. And then I'll also go into the Alpha AI engine and show a little bit more of the watch list. So we had the Honest Company is on our watch list for tomorrow because we're in that trade already, but it did ping. Run, we're still in that trade, did ping. Alto and VTRS, they were voted as inactive because they came after 3 p.m., so they automatically get put on our watch list. So when you're a member to Alpha AI engine and the Alpha AI service, you actually get membership to our boot camp, which is training where you can learn how to do these trades, which you're training to learn how to exit on these trades. And it's going over all the different tripwires and addresses why we need to follow the process and stick with it and constantly listen to Vicky in the chat, listen to me in the chat, letting you know why we're not getting into this trade, because I'm in there every day talking to customers, letting you all know when not to get into these trades. You're going to get these head fakes that we're going to go over as well. These are 5 stocks that are still in our recommended buy that we were able to take advantage of. And so these are still recommended trades that we would recommend to get into as of right now. You'll get our advanced short squeeze techniques, which are going to go over ways to profit. And then also, look, it's not bad to take a little bit off the table. I do that time and time again, and I'm able to constantly walk out with a profit. So by following these techniques with the bonuses on the trades that you're getting, you're going to easily double your account 3 to 5 on a year. I'm up on the year in this account that I'm trading with right now. On the smaller side, you guys saw I'm up $804. I am up on that account in a month around 33%. So I'm not trading with a whole lot of capital in there. I'm keeping it low, but I've been able to execute these trades. So now what everybody's been waiting for, our masterclass sessions. We're going to show you on how to follow along with these trades, what to do after the fact. The live class that Mark teaches is phenomenal. He goes over the engine, shows you how to use it. He's constantly letting you know when to get out of the trade, when to get into the trade, why we're not going to take a trade because it's a triple leverage ETF, which is a no-no, or because a trade comes between 3 and 4 p.m. typically is a no-no. This whole idea with these master classes is to lower our risks so that we can have the most optimized reward when these squeezes are going on. There's a 14-day money-back guarantee with this. So if you're not satisfied, if when you're going through the demo with Drew, with Teddy, where they're demoing it for you to help you, walk you through, to help you utilize this, if you're not satisfied, you're eligible for a refund. But I actually want to go over this before anything else, because I know this is what everybody wanted to see. This is what I wanted to see. Alrighty. Can everybody see that pretty clear? So this is what the engine looks like. As we can see here, we were able to notify. Let's get rid of that chart. Look how many scans we got today. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 alerts for potential trades. Now, we didn't get into all these today. But as we can see here, let's shorten this up a little bit. Shorten this up a little bit. And this is fully customizable for you to actually research and look on your own so that you can identify it on your own. So if I wanted to go into Tripwire 1, and as we know, Tripwire 1 has to be greater than 7. So I can say greater than or equal to 7. And it will sort all of them. So you can see why these are active, why we took advantage of these trades today. Because we hit the 7% threshold for put demand. It was moving in the opposite historical direction, going up. Tripwire 3, as we all remember, it confirmed it was the volume. So volume in those stocks increased. And look how many times it hit Tripwire 1 and 2. 10 times. Now, let me clear this real quick. And so now we have a number of trades that we were able to put on, and we have all these in our watch list. So we have MSTU is also on the watch list for tomorrow. If anybody has paper and pen, you can write that down. You're welcome. The November 21st $3 calls. We also have on our watch list VTRS. But anytime we have these trades come late in the day, they're added to our watch list so that we know what to go to and look to. We were able to get a trade for those calls right there. So Mark's going to kill me for showing you guys that, but I wanted to show you how it's going to affect you and how you can take advantage of. So I know that there's probably some questions about our AI engine. What kind of questions do we have in the chat? Drew, have you seen any? Hello? Do we have any questions on how the engine works? So remember, Tripwire 1 is the 7% put demand. Tripwire 2 is we want to make sure that when that put demand increases, our stock is moving the opposite direction of where it should historically. Tripwire 3, we want to make sure that the volume of the stock is up and going up. Tripwire 4 is how many times we get a confirmation between trip 1, trip 2. So we only got 1 there. And as you notice, did we get into the trade? No. But this one here, LXRX, we got 10 confirmations. So we did take advantage of that and get into that trade. So in order to build the AI engine, we had 24 years experience between Mark and his options trading on the CBOE. It took us well over 300 hours to develop and test the AI. And we are able to now incorporate a 4th tripwire so that we're not getting so many of these fake outs. Mark also hired a tech company to help him build this out for $60,000+. And then we're also paying about $20,000 a month to get all this data that you're not going to get with another scanner. You're not going to get with another AI engine of sort because they're not spending that money up front. On why a large put demand leads to an increase in stock price, Scott. Large put demand would mean that it doesn't always lead to an increase. So in the engine, you had the green arrow going up, the red arrow going down. So it might not lead to the stock price going up, which therefore would mean that it wouldn't hit tripwire 2. But put demand is signifying that there is an increase in the amount of people shorting the stock. So that increased number we need to be above on our AI engine is 7%. So you'll see put demand on some of these where it could be up 300%, which means that it's heavily shorted. However, it could be a crap stock that's going down. So guess what? It doesn't hit our tripwire too. That answer your question, Cap? So here's trip 2, Cap. This means that the stock's moving against its average, which means it's going up in value. Put demand's at 51%. But here's one right here where it is, well, that's also an earnings release, so we don't play that, so let's not look at that. REI, 25% put demand. However, it was going down, so it never triggered our tripwire 2. And we can see here it had trips, but they never were simultaneous. Jeff, we've been out now for, I think the product's been out now for roughly 6 months, give or take. Oh, well, a lot longer than that. Thanks, Drew. See, I'm a little bit new with the Option Pit family. So forgive me on that. So again, this is about the Alpha AI engine. You will not only get the AI engine with this product, you get Mark giving you the trades to take advantage of if you're not comfortable on your own. So if you like being told what to do, you can be told what to do. If you want to do it on your own, you're more than welcome to, and you're more than welcome to learn and be trained on the product with our reps that we have in the chat, where they're able to walk you through for their first 30 minutes, and they're able to help you out to understand the AI engine so that you're able to take advantage of the market. So Drew, if you want to drop that link in the chat for everybody here. So do we have any more questions? Drew's going to drop a link in the chat. We have our lowest rate that we've had available for the product. If you missed out on last week when I sold it at a different price, it was simply due to the fact that I was able to get in and make a certain amount of money, and I wanted to offer a special discount for my first time introducing myself and going over the Alpha AI engine. We're still honoring the rates that you're going to see in these links below. So if you click those links, we'll be able to address that with you and go over it. So I want to walk you through this, though, real quick so that you can understand how we will be going over the trades, what you're going to be receiving with the membership, etc. Bear with me, people. Sorry about that. There we go. Got it. Perfect. So as we can see here, the short squeeze tracker, it's been able to capture this stock movement of 374%. Here's the Beyond Meat trade, 4,186% in 7 days. A simple $100 trade investment on that option would have paid for this service for 2 years. 2 years. If you only put $10 in it, it would have paid for the service for, I believe, what's that? $4,110. So $186. So $418.60. You would have been able to pay for this service for the 1 quarter, roughly, just in those 7 days of trading. We were able to capture Beyond Meat right here. I was able to go over it. LES, Wolf, LDI. There's a number of other trades that we've been able to hit on that you might have missed out on that we've been able to take advantage of. And we've been using this tool for since July, so about 6 months. However, Mark has been tinkering, has been testing this service to produce it. I know that when we came out with this product, we were at a 93% win rate. And I believe we're right around on our closed positions, 80% roughly. Averaging just over 70% per trade. With the Alpha AI membership, you get the engine, which is the key to having the success. You don't need to be live every day. All you need to do is just wait for the alert to come through. You can double check. If you want to leave it running in the background, you can. You get the 24/7 chat where you'll have people like me in the room constantly responding to your questions. You'll have Vicky in the room giving you a triple confirmation to make sure that Mark is implementing that trade so you know when to take advantage of it. The Bible. And like you said, Mark does tell you to get in for that Bible and get out at I believe, 100% profit. However, if you're buying more contracts, personally speaking, if I can get out of 2 at 100%, I'm going to set up stop losses and ride those other 2 for higher percentage returns, which is why we see these 170% returns, 235% returns, etc. You're going to have Mark in your corner, which is a 3-decade veteran on the CBOE, and he's going to be able to help you out. Like I said, the boot camp is going to address how we are optimizing these trades, when to get in, when to get out. The head fakes is the big thing that we're able to eliminate now. Where by adding the tripwire 4, we're able to eliminate a lot of the head fakes that were making a lot of noise in the background, because we were getting like 15, 16 alerts. And a lot of them weren't good trades to be making. And Mark noticed that right away and made some changes in the system. Now, you get the bonus squeeze techniques, which we went over already, which is going to go over two-way profits, downsizing once you get paid, and how to 2x it. What's the average length of time for trades? Jeff, they are not day trades. No, they're not day trades. We're buying these options typically 3 weeks away from expiration, maybe a week and a half from expiration. So we're not day trading. You won't be put as a pattern day trader, if that was your worry, Jeff. You'll get the Momentum Masterclass, which Mark teaches and goes over. And then lastly, the big thing is the guarantee. You have the 14-day money-back guarantee. Take advantage of it. Use the service. You're going to make money trading the service and following the directions that we're able to put you in. With the 4th confirmation that we just added in there, we've been able to eliminate all the fake noise of these short squeezes, which when I say fake noise, we've been able to eliminate noise from earnings. We've been able to eliminate noise from people saying buy this stock on Reddit. We've been able to eliminate the noise of these fake short squeezes that are coming out because a pharmaceutical drug, pharmaceutical drug just announced that they're going to apply for phase 2 testing. Doesn't mean they got it. It's fake noise. So look, give us the chance, follow along with the 14-day trial. We're able to get you in. And when you need help, we have our customer service and customer liaison lines where they can walk you through on how to use the search engine, how to use the AI search engine. So you can figure out what stocks to get into, what options to trade. And that's one of the better features of this, is it's giving you the exact option to buy. Like I said, I made the mistake and bought an option that was trading with a very, very low open interest. It did burn me. Whereas the trade that Mark recommended, we were able to get out at a little bit of a nicer return, over 150%. So come on and join us in the room. We have plenty of room in there for you. Come join us. We are live every Thursday at 12:30. Drew, am I correct on that? Drew? I guess he might be on the phone. We are live every Thursday at 12:30. We did go live today because Mark had an engagement, but we were able to get in 3 trade alerts today. Is there an update when Mark will do the masterclass? V-Man, I will post that in our chat in the Alpha AI room. I do not know if that is going to be next week or the following week. I know that it's been on the table, especially since we had that new Tripwire 4. You really wanted to address that with everybody. So come on and join us in the Alpha AI room. You get the engine, you get the training. You have a CBO veteran with your back that's constantly looking over you to make sure that you're able to trade effectively. And then you also have me and Vicky. I'm not going anywhere. I'm going to continue doing my late evening sessions going over how to train with the AI engine. So come join us in the room. You got the wait list today. We got at least 3 trades, or at least 2 trades probably coming out tomorrow. So come join us in the room, and hopefully I'll see you there. Take care, guys.